This is the Elite Chances course map from Sunday. First challenge is sending the dog to the tunnel under the dog walk, then getting him out to the tunnel in the upper right hand corner. The next challenge is getting him over jump 7, and the final challenge consists of getting him through the 2 hoops. Here's Dusty. I've already taken a lateral lead out to push him to the tunnel. And unfortunately, I didn't quite hold the signal for the other tunnel long enough, and he pulled off to the jump. However, I was pleased that he sent out to the tunnel on a verbal, and he manages to finish up the course with me. Same thing, I've let out laterally. Belle commits much earlier so I can move. Send her out to the correct jump, bring her around, and take her on to the weave poles. Here is the open chances map. The challenges all remain. The only thing that's been changed is the distance is decreased a bit. The handler leads out laterally and forward. And she moves in before she even releases her dog to push toward that tunnel. No problem carrying out to the curved tunnel. Does very well. Overshoots that hoop, but that's not part of the distance, so she manages to go back without it going backwards through it, and that was a clean run. This one is also a clean run. This little dog directs very nicely on verbals. Her handler ran out of room to move forward, but she thinks about it, and she does what he asks. He's able to stop her there and direct her out. And they're home with a clean run. Now this handler runs along the line, and her dog goes to the dog walk. Notice this handler sets her dog up on her right side, and then passes across the dog's face, kind of drawing its attention to the dog walk. Handler starts with a slingshot start. Sends her dog to the tunnel, but she's too close to the line to be able to push out to the jump. This handler allows the dog to pass her by, pushes to the tunnel, but she gets to the line and turns, and the dog turned with her. This handler backs up for a lateral lead out. She pushes on her dog, commits him to the tunnel. Unfortunately, she arrives at the line and turns, and so does her dog. This handler holds her position until the dog commits to the tunnel. She gets stopped by the line, but she's able to send him in with a verbal. Unfortunately, she's still on the line, and there's no way she can get him out to the correct jump. This dog really commits to both tunnels with a minimum of handling, verbal and an arm. However, at this point, the handler's line of direction pulls the dog off course. The novice course map is a little misleading. There's only about 2 feet between the line and jump 3. So most of the handlers who tried to get into that gap ran into problems trying to direct their dog out to the hoops, and in some cases even just trying to get them to jump number 7. This handler begins with a slingshot start. Commits her dog to the tunnel, runs to the next tunnel, She aims for the gap and her dog crosses in front of her, taking the off-course jump. This handler takes a lead out with her little terrier, commits him to the tunnel by pushing, waits for him, sends him to the tunnel on a verbal, and unfortunately says out and puts her arm out too soon, forcing him into the tunnel, or sending him to the tunnel. Nice send to that distant tunnel. Gets him out, but he's forced to cut left by the line and draws his dog off course. Notice how this handler has left her dog at an angle looking at the tunnel. She pushes in, sends her dog to the tunnel. She's right along the line but manages to get the jump and even out toward the hoop, but I think the dog missed that hoop, and of course she's unable to fix it at this distance. Just a very small lead out, but angled toward the tunnel. Sends her dog onto the tunnel. Manages to get the jump, but overshoots the hoop, and it's almost impossible to bring them through the right way. Nice push to the tunnel. Sends him on, stands so she can push to the jump, but she turned too soon and pulled the dog off the hoop. Nice running along the line. Nice commitment to that tunnel. She goes into the gap, manages to get the jump, but has to turn and can't get the hoop.